skadoosh, skadoosh, skadoosh. Gleep.
What's up, Gleeps? What's up, Gleeps?
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Gleeps. My name is Eddie Estrada.
My name is Megan Patzel, and I think it's just Gleep.
Everything is Gleep. Everything's coming
It's
up
Gleep.
Gleep.
It's just Gleep.
If you guys couldn't tell from the title or by reading a little bit about it, Gleep is our new podcast that we are starting today, here and now, in this moment, forever, where we will be recapping one of our favorite shows of all time, and that is the reality show that is the Glee Project.
Yes, a reality show that did appear 10 years ago that we should have access to all the information about, but we are pretending that it's new. We are watching it almost with fresh eyes, even though we did watch it 10 years ago. We do know how it ends somewhere deep in our subconscious. We know who wins, but we're just kind of pushing that back and watching it with fresh eyes.
Fresh eyes. You know, Oxygen now is a true crime network where it's a lot of true crime documentaries.
Oh.
And this was honestly maybe the first true crime murder that they had
True.
on the channel.
As you'll come to find, this
It
show
is
is a
brutal.
crime. It is a war crime, and it should not have happened for 2 seasons. Yet it did, and we're thankful it did because it taught us a lot.
It's probably one of our favorite shows because we are both Gleeks at heart, and that turned us into Gleeps because this was which is very weird. We're going to jump into this for a second.
It's the Gleek to Gleep pipeline.
It's the Gleek to Gleep pipeline from Fox to Oxygen.
Yeah.
So in between, I don't know what seasons, it was later in the series, Ryan Murphy, as he famously says on the first episode, the kids are getting older. And what are you going to do? Degrassi had the next generation. What are we going to do with the kids from
He needs fresh,
McKinley?
new talent. Yeah.
So they made
needs
the show
hot.
on Oxygen, which is NBC Universal, but it's from Fox. I don't know how. We couldn't find the route to the money.
It's a random, all you need to know is this is a random TV network. And we've tried to research, was this some sort of a network deal? We don't know. It's the Oxygen network that it came out on. Okay.
It gives us a breath of fresh, which is why it was on the Oxygen network, because it
the show's a
breathed
breath
life
of fresh
into us.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
Both Gleeks to Gleeps. This show came out, and for some reason we knew about it. I feel like today, in today's television landscape, shows can come out and you won't hear about it.
You'll never know.
But for some reason, we were in on this show, Ground Floor, the reality show spinoff of Glee.
Well, this show, we're gonna start with our fun little tidbit to kind of get into how we're feeling, how we're doing. Because, this show's not just about the people on the show. This is a show about us because we are Gleeps and we deserve to have our voice heard in the conversation.
Yeah, it's about the show Glee Project, but it's also mainly about us because I think you should know that Eddie and I both have big dreams.
Big dreams.
And us watching this show 10 years ago was a lot of, I could do that. I should be on the show. Why didn't I hear about auditions on MySpace? Okay,
I was honestly upset every time watching this, being like, this could be me. I know I'm 18 years old, but so is Lindsay Pierce.
Right, and I could do some certain things better. Okay.
I might not be a singer, but I'm an actor, and I could learn choreography if you give me a moment.
And I've got character. I've got character.
Individuality.
Yeah. So it's a lot of wish fulfillment watching this show.
Yeah.
What could have been if we were on it?
Well, just to get into, I guess, the Gleek mindset, we're going to ask each other each week, what's your solo? So this is a song that, if we were on the Glee Project, it would be our solo. You know how every episode of Glee, there's that song that's talking about, what their life is, what they're going through. We're going through stuff too. We have lives. So
for the first segment of our show, what's your solo?
So Megan, why don't you start? What's your solo for this week, and why is it your solo?
Thank you so much for asking. So my solo for this week, if I were on Glee or GLEEP, my solo would be "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me" by the Culture Club. Because I've felt a little blue this week, but not for any good reason, And I feel like that song, it's a little flirty. It's like, do you really want to hurt me? But it's like, it's tongue in cheek, which I think can really speak to my depression this week. It's like, why am I sad?
I'm sorry you're sad.
It's just it's been blue, but it's fine. Everything is going fine, but it was blue for some reason. So it's kind of like, do you really want to hurt me? Like, stop.
I mean, I'm here for you. I want you to know that, and I don't want to hurt you, and I hope this show doesn't hurt you. So, but I'm glad that you expressed that through your solo this week on the show, because that's what we need to talk about. We need to sing our feelings.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm emo. I'm like, whatever.
You're like, do you really want to hurt me? Whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. What's your solo? If you were singing a big solo this week, what would it be?
My solo is Hungry Like a Wolf.
Whoa.
Right? There's a lot of
big number.
There's a lot in there. Well, I just am very motivated this week. I feel like I've got a lot of stuff done. I've made like a 3-month plan for myself in terms of what I want to do like creatively, what I want to do professionally. I've also been eating a lot, so I'm also literally hungry like a wolf. There's a new barbecue place that opened down the street for me, and I've been there twice already. So that's the wolfness, that's the carnivore in me.
Yeah.
So watch out, world. I'm hungry like a wolf.
Wow. That's great.
I love that we're very 80s. I love that we're not very contemporary with our solos this week. We're doing a little throwback, much like they did on Glee this week.
They often do on Glee Project. So I love that for us. We're 80s girls.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing your solo this week. Let's move on to Act 2, which is what we're going to call the next part of the show. And this is like where we're going to do the episode rundown. So before we get into like this specific episode for this week, we like want to just break down what the Glee Project is and how it's formatted, who are the key players, how the show's structured. Because like, let's be real, this is wild reality TV.
Yeah, I want to make it clear to everyone that this is really fun. Okay, we are about to break down a show that you haven't watched and may have never watched or never plan on watching because it's literally so hard to find on the internet. But we want you to experience it along with us because we have so much fun watching the show and talking about the show and then talking about how we can kind of like get ourselves involved in the show. So in order to understand that, you guys need the context of what happened on this show. And we're going to break it down to you in a fun way, okay? So that you don't even have to watch the show. Just watch it through our eyes.
I mean, why would you want to watch it any other way? I mean, our eyes are the most real, and I think the most like expert eyes you could watch it. Real eyes.
Exactly.
You know?
And we have the most expert eyes of watching this show. Okay, watch it through our lens. Don't Google it and watch it. Watch it just through listening to us talk about it. Okay?
No other take on the show will be correct. No other knowledge on the show is the right information. We are the experts on the Glee Project.
And if I could just say, no one else is talking about this show, okay?
Why not?
There's not a conversation and there should be, and we're trying to start it, okay? So maybe if I could just state the thesis of this podcast right now is this show is wild, it's stupid. It's stupid. It should have been illegal. Some of
Ryan Murphy should be in jail.
Yeah, we will go through, as we recap the show, we'll go through reasons A, B, C, D, when whatever for why it shouldn't have existed. But I don't know. Let's tell you about the first episode. This was technically the pilot. This was the one that started it all.
Evidently there was like an audition episode, like a pre-episode
that
we can't find. I mean, I would have loved to see some American Idol-esque auditions with them kind of running through the gambit of who these young aspiring Gleeps were, but we didn't get that because, like we said, this is impossible to find on the internet. We are watching bootleg.
Right, and I think something we've maybe glossed over is what this show is.
Yeah,
Glee Project.
People should know. People should know what the show is.
We talked about Glee. We talked about the Glee to Glee Project pipeline, but just in case it wasn't clear, the Glee Project was a talent show format style reality TV show where they recruit kids who were young enough to look like they could be on the show Glee, who were talented or perhaps talented enough to maybe be cast in Glee.
Talented is a very loose term. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah. So they're casting kids who, they're trying to win a 3-episode arc on Glee. It's so like Hollywood inside this show. Like, no wonder we watched it because we were like LA girls, like trying to get into the industry. And this show was literally just people trying to get a 3-episode arc in their SAG card.
Yeah, it's like, I'm really just trying to work out here in this city, as an extra, maybe a 3-episode arc. It could turn into something more, but we don't know.
That's why it was perfect for us, because we were like, maybe one day we can get a 3-episode arc on a network television show.
I would have loved just a line on Glee. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Being like,
truly.
what? Just like
What did she just say?
the kid in the cafeteria. That's my milk.
Right. We would have been so good at that. Hey, I'm walking here.
Hey, watch it, bud.
Yeah.
Calling everyone buddy. We'll get into my.
Right,
I
we do
love
that.
a
We
good
do that a
buddy.
lot. Yeah.
But-
so that did I explain it well enough? That's
I think he was playing. Yeah, it's essentially a
the show
talent
is?
show where we're
It's a talent
pitting
show.
young children against each other for the smallest part on Glee.
right. And it takes place in 2010, which is going to be really important when we start describing what these people look like.
Well,
What
but
these contestants look like.
just in regards to this show is so 2010 because it's giving very
Yeah.
like Dance Mom vibes. Very, very rough and raw reality TV before we got like,
Yeah,
let's
it's
look
not
at the
polished.
talent. Let's look at, maybe the people in themselves. It's like, okay, let's find the worst possible scenes that these people have filmed.
Yes.
The worst lines and just throw all of these together and make them all look like absolute terrors.
That's why it's an ethical conundrum, because this is before I think we introduced ethics into reality TV. This was the Wild West of reality TV. I mean, Kid Nation aired like
Kid
in the same year or
Nation.
something, right?
Megan.
It's adjacent, because this is Kid Nation, like
People
Hollywood
were
Starlet
sued because of
edition.
Kid Nation. That was
Right.
like a legal issue.
No, it's like going down in the history books, because 2010 is like vintage history now, and they're making history books about
That
that
makes
year.
me feel so old. It's like, okay, 2010 is not vintage history. Kid Nation was another show I wanted to be on. I'm not going to lie.
Of course, of course. We would have taken any opportunity to be a star.
I was
in
like,
2010.
literally throw me in anywhere. I'm good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll make my villain arc, and I'll kind of like self-produce.
I was like, the best role for me, villain.
Yeah.
You get the most screen
have to know
time.
your lane. Yeah, know your lane. You could be villain. What was I going to say about the Glee Project, though? I don't know. 2010. It's very 2010. It's
Yes.
also kind of like RAR and side bangs. Like,
yeah, it's very
you
like,
know?
do you speak dinosaur, rar, Tumblr?
Yeah,
very,
it's very like indie sleeves. Like, I'm just kind of wearing my American apparel and being a dude.
During
know?
this time, I was layering polos. I was
God.
wearing a lot of slouchy cardigans and sweaters, which we'll see
Yeah.
in the show. Puka
Layering,
shells,
layering,
shark
layering.
necklaces also made
Yeah.
appearances. Tinted lenses on my sunglasses.
I was like long tank top over skinny jeans, to layer, like cover half my ass with the tank top.
You need to have it as like almost a dress on top.
Yes,
We started
almost a
that trend
dress.
of dresses over jeans, but with tank tops.
because that was early 2000s, and then we progressed to tank top over
Yes.
jeans or leggings, leggings, and then like my Toms, and then like a scarf if I needed some sort of accessory. We'll go over. There's lots of scarves, and there shouldn't be scarves.
Lots of
okay?
scarves, lots of fringe on those scarves. It's of the time. So just know when
Right.
you're listening
So now
about
you
this.
know exactly.
Just know what time frame we're in. We're in the
That's what we're talking
early
about.
2010s. A time to
Right.
be alive. TikTok on the clock. Don't stop.
Right. MySpace was still a thing. It was on its way out, but it was still a thing.
It was still a thing.
That's
We didn't really have Instagram. We didn't know.
Yes.
It was just beginning.
Right. So that, I think that brings us to the prequel episode that we haven't seen because it's not anywhere online. That's where they find and harvest these kids.
Harvest
And
is
then
the
we
proper term.
And then we're just, and the pilot episode, we are just jump straight in, no introductions, just kind of like they give like a tiny bit of a like, here's what the show is. We found all these kids across the nation, and then we stuck them in a house. That'll come to play later.
They're
'Cause
living together.
They're living together. They're young. They all want to be a star. They all come from different walks of life. They all visually look different. They all like internally are different. And we're going to put them on challenges to see if they can be on Glee. Right? Okay.
You
So
have
that's where
to
we
say
start.
Glee like that. We forget that that's the proper way to say Glee is
Yeah.
whenever you're talking about Glee, it has to have the
Yeah.
musical note to it. Okay, so maybe
Right.
let's jump into the show and kind of how it's structured and who the key players are. And we'll start with
Yeah.
the mentors.
They have
I say that
mentors.
very interesting. Mentors.
The mentors.
Dementors. They are dementors. They do suck the soul out of these children.
They're kind of like
consistently.
evil adults.
Yes.
That are foils to these kids who just want their dreams to come true. These are the evil adults. I mean, are they not?
We've got a casting guy who we don't know his name, and
But
we
he
choose
looks-
not to learn it.
No, but he looks like Zachary Quinto.
So we'll call him Gary Quinto.
So he's Gary Quinto. Yeah, he's Zachary Quinto's cousin somehow. You know, he's got the glasses. He's kind of like a nice man. He looks like he's someone's dad, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he's not
dad
a dad.
vibes.
He's not a dad, but
You're
he's
right.
got the
No,
dad
he's
vibes.
too much of a businessman.
He's
Yeah.
a businessman and homosexual. I would
Yes.
just venture to say.
I would
Not-
venture to say perhaps a homosexual.
Perhaps.
Who knows? I don't know. He's on Ryan Murphy's team though, so let's
Let's call a spade a spade. If you're on Ryan
Yeah.
Murphy's team, what you
And
doing?
he kind of leads the thing. I think he's like the main adult because he's in every challenge. He's getting to know these kids. I mean, he found them. He harvested them.
He's
So
the
main guy.
harvester.
He's daddy. He
He's
is
daddy. Let's
'cause he
call it
found
that.
them.
Yes, he's daddy.
Okay, Daddy Quinto.
Then we
Quinto,
have
Quinto.
hot choreographer Zach Woodley, who
Right.
let me tell you, the things I would do to Zach Woodley, I would dance
Right.
for him. I would show him
Right.
everything I've got.
You would show him your whole world. Eddie thinks he's gay. I think he's straight, and I think that's just a reflection of what we want him to be
Yes.
because he's hot choreographer.
Oh,
And he's got this kind of early 2000s hot guy look, like Chad Michael Murray, like
the long
white
hair,
guy.
like he
Yeah,
wears
like
he wears like a
shaggy
Newsies
hair.
cap, but it's
and he
hot.
has a yeah, and he wears a Newsies cap. Oh God, I didn't notice that.
Oh, yeah, it's like one of those
he?
like it's I
I
don't know
just
if you would
chose not
call
to
it
look
a
at
Newsies cap, but you know the ones that kind of like it's almost like a beak where it's like it's a Newsies
Yeah,
cap.
that Ellis wears. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
It's the
God,
early
okay,
2000s,
I
everyone
truly
was wearing
turned a
Newsies
blind eye to
caps.
that because that's gross. But yeah, he's like kind of the hot choreographer, and he's a little mean, which is also why I thought he was straight because he's kind of like mean to the
And
contestants.
and
So-
that's why I thought he was gay because he's mean.
Exactly,
So I
exactly,
mean,
exactly.
two
So,
worlds,
okay,
one
we got
family.
him.
And then we've
We don't
got
know- what's his
Nikki
name? I don't know.
Anders, who I love.
Nikki.
She's
Mommy.
She's mommy, and she's like
Yeah.
mean, but in a supportive way. Like she's just trying to see you do better because
And
she's
her focus.
Yeah.
She's vocalist.
she's like the
That's
the
what she
voice
coaches
teacher
them
and
on.
coach.
Yes. She actually, for the actual Glee show, she does all the vocals for that. She'll go in the studio with Leah Michelle and get like a take, you know. Sometimes they only have a few hours to get whatever. That's like
She's
one
like
of the quotes
Leah.
of the show.
Leah sometimes has to come in for 15 minutes, and she has only 15
Yeah.
minutes to get a take. Will you be able
Yeah.
to do that?
Exactly.
your
They're
chest
always
voice.
like
Sing from your
comparing these. There's always comparing these kids to Leah Michelle, and they don't know. They're just trying their best. Don't
It's like
compare them to Leah Michelle.
poor Leah Michelle like has been working her entire life. Like these kids literally stepped on the scene and they're like, the Glee Project. We'll try this
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
Except for
So,
Lindsay
okay,
Pierce, who's
Nikki's
a
mommy.
trained
Right. We'll get into
soprano.
it.
We'll get into her. So yeah, and then of course Ryan Murphy makes appearances, but only during
yeah, he's
elimination.
kind of like he's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. He'll come out from behind the
Yes.
curtain at the very end just to kind of lay down the law. Not that that's what the wizard does. The wizard is actually a fool in that film, but you know what I mean. He's the great Ryan Murphy, and he doesn't have time to be in a lot of the show, but he'll come in at the end and be like, "So what's the deal?
He's like,
Tell me about these kids."
who are these three that are on their way out? Maybe.
Yeah. Right, like he's not paying attention. He's not on set throughout the show, but he'll just pop in at the end. And be
But
like,
he's
"All right,
working on
give it to
Glee.
me. What's
He's
the deal?"
working on Glee.
Exactly. He's a busy guy.
He's got a lot of things going on. So that's
So those are
that's,
the elders.
Those are the elders. We'll call them
The elders.
the elders
We're
of the
calling-
church.
They're the elders. Yeah, the olds.
The olds.
elders.
And then we've got the cast. We've got the youngins. The youngins on the
Yeah.
Gleeps.
So let's try to quickly go through the cast. Give everyone what the picture of the cast through our eyes. Like, we'll just tell it to you straight. Here's how we see them.
Okay, so
Like physically first, just so you can like paint a picture, but also a little bit of their
I'm
their
just
vibe.
I'm gonna give names and then we're just gonna go there. So I'm just gonna randomly
Great. And
say
don't go in order of who won. Great.
No.
Amazing.
we don't want to reveal anything for the listeners.
Yeah.
Because
Just
we're
in
trying
no
to
particular order.
we're trying to see it ourselves too. We're not trying to see who won. We remember
trying to-
kind of.
Forget who won. Yeah, we kind of know who won, but we're trying not to remember.
And it gives me feelings. Okay, so first we've
Yeah.
got Ellis, who we've already spoken about.
Yeah, Ellis is a favorite of mine because she's been set up as the fool, and the show, they do some mean producing. But yeah, Ellis. Okay, Ellis is short woman.
She's not 10 years old. And she wants you to know
she's got a
that.
chip on her shoulder about how young her facial features
Yeah.
are. She's got a big chip on her shoulder about how she looks so young, but she's actually 18.
She's
she
got a
does look
brown
young.
bob. A brown
Yep,
bob.
a little bob. It's mousy.
She's a
It's
mousy
not
little
full
thing.
brunette. Yes, it's a mousy bob. She's kind of got this like sarcasm, this 2010 sarcasm of, yeah, I wish people didn't say that I was a young kid. I'm kind of old, like, like a
Yes.
little, right? Like
It's very
I'm
performative
exaggerating it.
sarcasm.
yes, performed with sarcasm. Like, I wish we didn't have to do this challenge.
Yeah, it's like, well, who brought this girl in here? And it's like, okay,
Yeah,
we get you have a
she-
personality, Ellis.
Yeah, and again, to paint a picture, she would have a rolly backpack.
100%. She would have a rolly
Because some-
backpack and a million bracelets, like a million silly bands.
Yeah.
Live strong at
Yeah.
this time.
She does in her confessionals wear this newsboy cap that is so cringy. It's so cringe.
It looks hot on Zach. It looks not.
Right.
If we're talking about the hottie and the naughty, hottie
Yeah.
Zach, naughty Ellis.
And I feel bad because, again, like, we're describing her as a loser, but it's not because she is. It's because the editing was shady in 2010, and
They
were making
wanted
her
us
out
to think
be.
she was a loser.
Exactly. So, and we don't know where she is now, and that's another conceit of this show is we are not Googling anyone until they are eliminated. So, for all I know, she could be out there living life as a glamour girl, but on this show, she is portrayed as the loser from the start. Just awkward.
Well, going from losers to who I really love as a queen bee, I'm going to just say Lindsay Pierce.
Lindsay Pierce. Now, Lindsay Pierce it's hard not to know where she ended up because she is
A star.
in the zeitgeist. Like, yeah, she's on Broadway as we speak.
I mean, I did see her in a Broadway show a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yes, she's Elphaba on Wicked. That's something.
Oh,
that, like,
the big
you don't have to
reveal.
Google to know the big reveal. Yeah, so we aren't gonna actually Google Lindsay until she is eliminated on the show. But it's just let's let it be known, common knowledge. That's where she is now. But on the show,
She's
side
like the
bangs.
queen bee. Side bangs.
Queen bee. Yeah, she's very confident. That's given across well. If you don't know what Lindsay Pierce looks like, she's gorgeous. She's got these big blue eyes. She wears lip gloss in her confessionals, so she's really cute.
Brown hair,
but
side bangs.
She's giving mature.
Yes.
She's only like 18 or whatever at the time of the show, but she's giving mature. Like, if she were in the high school play, she would be cast as like maybe the mom or like the big belting solo. Like, she gives mature, and her confessionals are very like, yeah, I kind of rocked that. Like, she's got confidence.
My favorite thing is she's like, well, I'm a classically trained soprano,
Yeah,
so
my favorite quote of the show. I'm classically trained, so that's probably why I killed it. Is what she says.
It's like, okay, yeah, we agree. We love her.
She's an early contender for the villain arc.
Very, yeah. If you think of her, think of her like a brunette Sharpay.
Yes, exactly. They're giving her the Leah Michele kind of like thinks she's all that.
Very,
But is she?
very Leah Michele. Very Leah Michele. Okay.
That's why she was casted.
Speaking of hotties, we've got hot Marissa.
Marissa Von Blaken, if I recall.
Yes.
She's tall. She's got long golden hair,
Curly,
golden, maybe strawberry,
almost like a hotter Taylor Swift. You know what I mean?
she's
Like
got these-
sexier.
She's got these beautiful eyes. Like, she wears great mascara. She's got these like pouty lips. Like, she looks like Aurora, the Sleeping Beauty.
Yes.
They
That's
definitely
it, on
casted
the
her as the
nose.
ingenue.
She's
right?
like, she's the hot young ingenue. She's like,
Her
just,
voice is like silk.
yeah, she sounds great. We'll get into voices too as
Yeah,
we
we'll get into that.
progress through the episode.
But just think of beautiful, beauteous,
Sleeping Beauty,
gorgeous ingenue.
Aurora.
Yeah, but she's a little shy. She doesn't give a lot of charisma yet in this episode. So
Let's get into some boys because we've been talking about girls for a second. Let's talk about a little man named Samuel Larson.
this is my crush. But on the show, it's hard to see that because he's a white guy with dreads. Well, I shouldn't say white for who's to say what is, he just presents white presenting.
Yes, white
with
passing
dreads.
for sure with dreads.
Yeah. So he's obviously kind of like the alternative guy. He's got this.
Does he have a nose ring? Am I imagining that he has a nose ring?
He has a nose ring. He's got beautiful skin. He's got these piercing eyes. And he's wearing his like American Apparel, like layered kind of cardigan look, and he's singing kind of like funky, So he's like definitely cool guy, but like alternative.
Yeah, he's the alt Tumblr boy of, I guess, the cast, which is what I love about him too. I definitely thought he was hot. Who could not see Samuel Larson and be like, I want to swing off those braids, Tarzan boy, take me away.
Yeah. Tarzan boy, take me away. He's another one who I can't necessarily avoid their social media presence. I know we're only Googling once they're eliminated, but since I've had a crush on him since the show, I know where he's at, and I know what he looks like, and I know what he's up to. So I won't give too much away. We have a lot to talk about when it comes to Sam. But yeah, for now, that's what you need to know. Dreads.
That's
hot.
what you need to know on Glee.
Glee.
Okay, let's go to another boy. Let's go to Mateus Fernandez.
Yes.
Our little guy.
Short. He's a little
Yes.
guy, but a lot of energy.
Lots of energy.
You could see that in him. Big smile.
He wears, I think, a puka
Happy guy.
necklace. He's the puka necklace boy? Tank
Puka.
tops.
Yeah. I want to say he's Latin in some way. I think this will come, they haven't talked about their backgrounds, but I think that if I recall from watching the show 10 years
He
ago.
seems,
he's
he seems like maybe Brazilian. I'm
We'll
getting
find
a
out.
Brazilian Argentinian vibe.
I'm getting Brazilian, yeah. But what you need to know is short, happy energy.
Yeah, he's like the cute little guy. He's like the little brother.
Hey, he's a little guy that's just bouncing around, having a good time.
Okay, let's go to McKinley.
McKinley, right. Hard to describe because just forgettable as an energy in the first episode. But physically, I think she's pretty tall.
She's
dark
one
skin,
of
she's black.
two black people
two.
on the show, and that's something we also want to bring up. Everyone on the show is white, cornbread white.
And for a show that is purposefully trying to be diverse, I mean, like on the actual Glee, they make sure that there's differently abled people and all sorts of sexual orientations, but they do have a color problem. So, you'll see diversity across the cast, but hardly when it comes to skin color.
But yeah,
so,
she's got
McKinley.
she's got the Mom and Kate +8 Kate haircut.
Right. And Eddie and I are still torn on
pixie.
whether that means that she's like a country mom or whether it means she's Hot Topic. That yet to find out.
I'm leaning more toward country mom just because her rest of her outfit is very conservative, and I feel like she was Hot
Topic.
She would have a, what were those called? Like the fishnet arms. I would need a fishnet arm.
I feel like I saw a studded belt.
Darker eye makeup. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
But
She hasn't given us much, but yeah, physically, there you go. That's McKinley. She's got a great smile.
Let's talk about, speaking of diversity, we've got Damien McGinty Jr.
Yeah, he's diverse.
Our Irish
he's literally
boy
from Ireland. Yeah, that's what you need to know about Damien. He is like, he's clearly straight in that because he's so awkward.
He has no rhythm. Oh, sorry.
No rhythm. Yes, exactly. That's how I know he's straight. No rhythm. Just kind of like happy to be here. Just having a good time on the Glee Project.
I honestly have no idea how he even found out about this. Just kind of walked into a room one day and was like, I'll do this.
I guess I'll just come audition for the Glee Project. We'll find out more about Damien, I guess. But like for now, it seems like, why did they find him? Why is he here? We don't know quite yet.
And we may never know. We may never know.
We hope that we find out. But yeah.
Let's talk about Bryce, one of the other 3 black people on the show.
Bryce. Yeah. Bryce is hottie.
Hot. He's kind of like the jock that would be nice to you, but like also is like too unattainable to actually date.
Right. And he wears a beanie, so he is trying to make himself out to be a little more alternative than your classic jock. But they're giving him bad boy. That's the identity they're pushing on him.
Yeah. And I don't even know if he's a bad boy. I think he's a little bit nicer.
And I don't know if he is. Yeah. So, that's Bryce. He's hot. You need to know that.
He's hot. That's all you need to know about Bryce.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Hannah. Hannah McLaughlin.
Right.
I'm not even going to try with last names, y'all. I can barely even speak
it's
English.
Hannah.
Just Hannah.
It's Hannah, bitch.
It's She's a redhead.
Hannah, redhead. She's a big girl, big smile, freckles, redhead.
Yeah, they're
giving her the awkward girl edit too.
Such the awkward girl edit. It's just
cruel.
So much energy and doesn't know where to put it. I'm out here.
Right. How cruel is it though that they only cast one big girl, redhead, and then they just paint her to be like the fumbling idiot? I mean, they specifically use takes of her saying stupid shit and put that in the show.
We'll get into the choreography, the part of the episode, but like, poor thing. Poor honey.
Yeah, so she's painted out to be the awkward girl. That's
okay,
Hannah.
I'm trying to see who I'm missing. Okay, we've got Emily Vasquez, who is my Latin sister. She's like hot Santana. Just think of that.
This is your fave.
Yes.
Yeah, hot. Yeah, she's Latin queen, gorgeous, push-up bra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she walks in and just exudes sex and you're like,
yes,
okay,
lip gloss, push-up bra, a little wink in her eye.
ooh, she's flirting her way around town.
She's
She's
flirting.
making her way downtown to,
Making
you
her way
know,
downtown, flirting with the guys.
being Lynn Found. Here we go now. Okay, we're just ripping off on this.
Yeah.
We're Glee Project. We're still here. We can
Yeah.
still pass for 19.
I could play young. Throw me in.
Play it on.
coach.
Throw me in there. What's this Euphoria kids? Gleephoria? It could be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing. Ooh.
Okay, let's talk about my crush of the boys, and that is Cameron Mitchell.
Cameron. This was my crush 10 years ago before I realized Sam was where it's at. Cameron Mitchell, yeah. Tall white guy with the flippy hair.
Mm-hmm. Not
He's
flippy
kinda-
like Justin Bieber. It's like a longer flippy. It's got some back to it.
Yeah, it's what we all thought was hot in 2010.
Big,
He's
thick
very American Apparel.
glasses.
Yep, V-neck purple American Apparel t-shirt, right? And his voice is really good. He's a
Really
standout when
good.
it comes to vocals. That's what you need to know about him.
He's
My
got
eyes
it.
asleep.
He's got the whole package, honestly, in my eyes.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought he was so hot 10 years ago. So that's Cameron. But he's a little quiet, good voice. He'll come into play in later episodes, I'm sure.
and then I think all we have left is a superstar in his own right, Alex Newell.
Alex and Newell. Alex is another person that you cannot dismiss because they are everywhere in the Bravo world. What was the show they were on? Come From Away?
Oh no, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
No, the Broadway show. Yeah, Zoe's
Oh,
Extraordinary
he
Playlist
was
on
no, it
TV.
wasn't Come From Away. It was Once on This Island.
Once on This Island. Yeah.
Come From Away is the one about 9/11. That was
Okay, yeah.
that he was not in.
I'm not up on that. Alex Newell also is kill the lights and touch my body. Da, da, da. You can see me from the way that I am. Do you not know that song?
Oh, I know this song.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
classic.
a great song. Alex is one of the only black people on the show.
One of three, like we said.
Yeah. I think at the time, Alex's pronouns were he, him. Currently, they, them.
Yes.
So we're going to try and use they, them.
Yes.
Alex is a standout singer. I mean, physically, I mean, what can you say about Alex? Just-
I mean, he's a little bigger.
if you
He's
don't know
also
what
one
Alex
of the bigger
looks like.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Curvy
bigger
girl.
people.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's just the voice stands out really with Alex. It's voice first, it's attitude first. Alex is really confident, but they don't get much on this first episode, so you really just see them nailing their vocals, nailing their takes in the challenges we'll go through. It's pretty clear Alex is going to go far, but we'll see.
All right, I think that's the cast. I don't think I missed anyone. We've got Sam, we've got Ellis, we've got Bryce,
The main
Emily,
people.
Cameron, Alex, Lindsay, Hannah, Marissa, Mateus, McKinley.
Okay.
All
On
right.
to the next.
On to the next. So as we go through this episode, we're gonna use their names, but we're also gonna have nicknames for them, and we're expecting you to just catch up and figure out who we're talking about. So we gave you the physical descriptions, so you should know on your own who we're talking about.
Here we go. Here's what you missed on episode 1 of the Glee Project, a show that aired 10 years ago. Through Our Eyes.
Through Our Eyes. That's not even a song. That's something I made. Also songwriter. GLEEP.
Yeah, so we have talent, okay?
Talent with a capital T. But this week it's all about individuality. That is the theme of this episode. So each episode has a theme that they're supposed to be.
It'll play into the challenges and all that stuff.
So
individuality.
So the episode starts where they have to prepare a song and they sing it for a special guest. And based on that, they either get not like immunity, because no one's immune. Everyone's on the cutting board the chopping block. It's all the same.
Yeah, I mean, the
Everyone's
episode
ready to
starts
get
with
sliced and diced.
Yeah, the episode starts with a bang. They don't really explain this. All of a sudden, you just see these however many kids sitting on bleachers in a Glee style room, and they announce a special guest is going to come watch them sing their song and decide his favorite. And who is the special guest? But
Darren Criss.
Darren Criss. I forgot his name for a second. Darren Criss.
He was, and this is Darren Criss before Darren Criss got hot. This is like the
Yeah,
dweebiest
he's a nerdy guy.
form of Darren Criss, like right after
there's
he
still-
did Blaine.
Yeah, but they're still all hot for him.
Oh,
They're
I
like,
mean-
oh my God, Darren Criss. I can't believe Darren Criss. Like, they're freaking out.
I mean, I would have freaked out if I saw Darren Criss. Like, let's be real. He was super famous from the Harry Potter musical. We all knew who Darren Criss was.
Right. I was more of a fan of him from Glee. Harry Potter musical is not my culture, but he was hot then. We can agree on that.
I
And so
really
they all
just
sing-
outed myself there.
Yeah,
I was a big
embarrassing.
YouTube
Cut
boy.
that out. Yeah, but they all sing different parts of "Signed, Sealed, Delivered" by Stevie Wonder. Some of them really succeed in this, and some of them don't. I mean, any standout performances for you? People
Cameron
that sang their part.
Cameron was fantastic.
Cameron, his vocals killed. You could tell that he was like the sultry kind of singer-songwriter guy. He gave his individuality. I think, he was a standout in this.
The worst
I forget
for
what he
me.
sang. Did he do "I'm Yours"?
I feel like he
do
did.
that?
He had some kind of riff.
He got a riff. He got a good.
He
riff.
got a good riff. My least favorite was Damien McGinty, who literally sounded like he was choking on a frog. It was like,
Right,
oh,
and he was
signed, sealed,
smiling.
delivered.
Smiling the whole time, like "Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours." I'm doing Scottish, but yeah.
I mean, it's
we didn't love
close
that.
enough, right?
We didn't love that.
No,
Marissa.
I think I saw him and I was like, my jaw dropped and I was like, how is this guy actually on the show as a singer?
Yeah, he really took some time to come into his own. Marissa also had great vocals. She
Marissa.
added a little riff at the end. She did her like, "Ooh, or whatever at the end.
She was good.
Which
I
was
liked
really
Marissa.
good.
Yeah, I
I
was really
liked
into
her.
that.
That's really all that stuck out for me. Everyone tried their best.
Yeah, everyone, there was like, everyone else was safe. Safe
Yes.
enough. There were some people who were honestly not great, but
Well, Ellis, when
choke
she
through.
sang, I was like, "Oh, why is she on the show?"
yeah, it really took her. It really took a lot for me to get into her, which we'll talk there.
Yeah.
It took a different song for me to be like, okay, she can kind of do this.
Yes. But Darren ended up being most impressed by Mateus, which my theory is because, Mateus didn't have any standout vocals or anything.
No.
But when it comes to individuality, Mateus, as we said, a really happy, energetic guy. And I think that's probably what Darren saw. I think Darren was like, this guy knows who he is and is just happy to be here.
We're looking for individuality. Like at the end of the day, we're looking for someone who can stand out and have that energy and be that person. And so I guess Mateus won that first challenge because he was an individual.
Yeah, it's not who I would have chosen, but I see it. That's fine. It was 2010. Okay.
So-
and I think Darren is also choosing someone that he wants to work with because I think what you get out of this is some one-on-one time with Darren. So he's not going to choose the girl that like winked at him and tried to.
Okay,
kiss
Emily
him,
was
you know?
honestly
That was
my
Emily.
vibe. She was like, she
Shout
was
out to
basically
Emily.
like, Darren Criss, let's go bang right now in the back. Like she was
Yeah.
ready to take him on, and he was like, I'm playing
Yeah.
gay on
He was, "Oh,
TV.
cool."
I can't be straight like I am right now in public because I'm supposed to be with Chris Colfer, and it's like, okay.
I don't think. Yeah, I think he just didn't want what she was selling.
Yeah, reading too much into it on my end.
Yeah, you're like, I have to seem gay. I don't think that was.
I'm in the character fully.
Yeah, I don't think that was part of it. He was giving straight, I'll say.
He was giving very straight. He definitely was
Yeah.
portraying straight on this, the way he was dressed and just the messiness of him.
Right. So, moving on, this wasn't that exciting of a part. We just like all of a sudden we're thrown into like, here's everyone that's on the show. Everyone does a weird job. This one kid wins a date with, what's his name? Darren Criss. And
Win a date
moving
with
on.
Darren Criss.
Win a
Yeah,
date
they
with
went out,
Darren
had a
Criss.
nice little steak dinner, candlelight, a little bit of wine.
That's what they should have done. But yeah, this wasn't, this is just how the episode starts. And we're like, okay, we're thrown into this. And then I think they go into meet the cast a little bit. I think they go just straight to choreography after
Yeah,
this,
they
don't
go meet Zach, and Zach is like, all right, bitches, here it
Zach's
is.
one of
Like,
the
get to
elders.
work.
Yeah. He's so mean. He's like, you got to keep up because sometimes, like, if you actually are on Glee, you have to learn choreography really fast. Like, we don't even have time to stop and have fun, Like, he's
Yes,
just
I
so
think
annoying.
I think it's
And
Bryce
these
who
kids
like
have never
stops
done
and laughs,
choreography.
and like he's like, you can't laugh.
Right.
We got work
Right.
to do.
Exactly. He already like gets mad at Bryce for like, making a innocent mistake. And I should say that this whole everything they do from this point on, from Darren Criss on, is in preparation for a music video. I guess that's going to be how they do every episode is you get a music video.
They film a music video for like in the style of Glee. So like how Glee had those
Yes.
big musical numbers that were essentially music videos, fantasy
Yes.
sequences. They're
Yes.
doing the same thing here.
They're doing that, and it all relates back to the theme of the episode. This one's individuality. So I think they tell them like the gist of what the music video is going to be. Like it's a school photo shoot.
And
To
the song
Katy
is
Perry's
yes, Firework.
Firework, which is so 2010.
It's so in 2010, I had my first kiss to Firework. So do you
No
ever feel like
way.
a plastic
Really?
bag? Yeah, true story. It's so stupid.
Wow.
I know, that's really
Yeah.
embarrassing. I was also
No,
just
that's
outed myself as
cute.
being 18 when I had my first kiss, but whatever.
But that's kind of why that's what gives me pause. but we all have different,
Everyone,
journeys.
late
Yeah.
bloomer.
You've made up for it. Let's just say
Okay,
that.
wink, wink. Wink, winking it. I've definitely more than made up for it.
Yeah. But okay, so then they do choreography. The guy is mean to them. Hannah does the most awkward thing of my life that like literally watching the episode, and I'll insert some footage of me watching it, but I cringe so hard because he's like, all right, give me a pose. He's trying to do some choreography where they do like hit different poses. And when he points at Hannah, give me a pose, she just puts up 2 thumbs up next to her big smile.
She's like, and he's like,
and he's
okay.
like, okay.
He's
that's
like,
the pose.
everyone, let's do this. And everyone's like, poor thing. This is the
God,
first
it
of
gave
many
me
edits for
such an
Hannah.
ick. Yeah, they make her out just to be, Yeah, but the choreography is it's pretty tame. Okay, they aren't doing
it's
anything
nothing
crazy.
too hard,
It's just
and
like
that's
hit this
the
pose
thing.
on the beat. Yeah,
It's
but
like
so of course like the
individuality.
straight guys, the straight guys with 2 left feet are Bryce and Damien are just like, oh no, I was supposed to turn left there, like
And it's like, okay, I mean, I personally would be very annoyed because I'd be like, you learn it or
Right.
leave. I would be with
because
Zach.
we're
I'd be
classically
like,
trained.
I'm a classically trained dancer.
Yeah, I'm like, I get the choreography and I move on. It's not a joke. Is this a joke to you guys?
Come on,
This
we're
is a
here to
Glee-
work.
This is a 3-episode arc on the Glee Project, and you're treating it like a fucking joke. That's
There's no games here in this house.
Yeah, we're not like messing around, okay? Yeah, they were messing around. They got kind of scolded for it, whatever. Then they move on to the recording studio with Mommy Nikki.
With Mommy Nikki. Mommy Nikki is impressed by some and not impressed by others who come into the
and
studio.
her face tells the tale.
I
When people hit a note, she goes, oh.
I found myself not by choice or not by, choosing to do this, which is also by choice. I literally just said the same thing twice, but I found myself mimicking her facial features because I was feeling the same way.
With her.
I
Yes,
do
she speaks
want
for
to
the
identify
audience.
with Nikki, and I think I do identify
because she's
with Nikki.
a pro. Of course, we both identify with Nikki because she knows exactly what she's doing, and she's a professional, and that's how we see ourselves. We're like, yeah, I know exactly what notes they should be hitting as well.
You're singing
I'm
from your
right there
throat.
with you, Nikki.
Bring it down.
Yeah.
Bring it down. Give some more
That's
power.
exactly
Give
what
some
I
more
was
breath.
gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say that completely. So she's giving them the harsh critique. Hannah once again is being a little awkward in the booth. They give her this horrible soundbite where she walks up to the microphone and goes, "Oh my god, it's got all these holes in it. It's like a piece of cheese." And I thought that was so rude to keep
Like
that
the
in, 'cause
one,
again, she's the only big girl.
the one like food joke. Give it to Hannah.
Yeah. Like, okay, sorry she's never seen a microphone cover before. Like, give her a freaking break. But she hits some notes that Nikki does not like.
Oh,
And same with Ellis. Ellis hits some notes that Nikki
Ellis
does not
cannot.
like. I mean, they're
cannot
bad
make
guys.
it. I mean, Lindsay kills it, of course. Marissa's
Yes.
fine.
But she does like try to give Marissa a note that like there wasn't enough emotion. And it's like, okay, well, you have a great voice, so maybe let's not critique the people with great voices in week 1.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're trying to make her improve, whatever, but she didn't need that critique.
I mean, if she can sing it, she can sing it. We don't need to dance around this. But
Cameron killed.
Cameron kills, of course. I mean, he's got the voice. Damien, we
He's
don't
got
get
the
to
voice.
see in the recording studio, I don't think too much, but I'm sure he fumbled it. Just
Yeah. But those were the
context
standouts,
clues.
right?
Yeah, those are the
context
standouts.
clues. Yeah.
Context clues,
Oh.
Damien can't sing.
Yeah, we're not obsessed.
But then we get to the shoot day. So the shoot day is where they film this music video. And like we said, it's a school photo day that they're all going through singing
Right.
Firework and
And
showing
they're-
their individuality.
Yeah, and they're mapping out like little moments for each person to make sure they each get camera time. And the kids were asked to choose their own like character kind of, right? They were like, make sure you know who you're playing, like what your type is kind of like based off their own personality.
Which
So-
confuses me because I
Yeah.
we are watching this also on a reversed image
Right.
bootleg
because, again,
version.
It's a bootleg from 10 years ago. They reversed the image, so we can't read anything.
But for Michaela,
McKinley?
Sorry.
Yeah.
For McKinley, she calls herself a country bumpkin, which makes me lean more into the country conservative than Hot Topic.
I guess she just didn't show personality, and maybe I just made some assumptions.
Maybe we'll
but
see
yeah,
more. This is
Yeah.
episode 1. We've got a couple more weeks. Episodes
to learn
episodes
about
2's
these
coming
people.
out next Thursday. We really got to catch it.
Next Thursday, 10 years ago. Yeah. Apparently everybody had written down like the name of their character, like class clown, whatever, but it's hard for us to read that when we're watching it. So I mostly I'm just going off of assumptions. Like Bryce was like, oh, I'm the lady killer, the ladies man.
Yeah.
Who were like the clear, obvious ones who their characters were. Bryce was clear. Ellis was clear because she had some issues with it. It was kind of confusing.
But also,
She was like most likely to not be a kid.
that was her. That was her
She's just
superlative.
she's wearing her insecurity on her shoulder, and it's like really awkward to watch.
One I was confused by as well was Mateus, who gets extra time in the scene. He gets like a little solo part because he won the challenge.
And that's the most awkward thing ever. They put him in front of a green screen, and it's like
there's
so
fireworks,
awkward.
and he's like.
And he's just like opening his heart, and it's like, wait, out of literally nowhere, this kid is in fireworks. Anyways, yeah, what was his character supposed to be?
Fitness instructor.
Right. Where?
Where they put him in like a tank
where?
top, and they're like, "You're a fitness instructor." I
Was
don't
he
know.
in a tank top?
Maybe I envisioned that, but I feel like
I didn't see any fitness instructor.
No, I don't. Maybe he chose that for himself. Maybe he's all about like soul. Soul was Soul Cycle around at this time.
Wait.
Yeah.
He
don't
should
know.
have been in the bottom 3 if he chose his character as fitness instructor and then just like sang firework with no barbells. Like he should have made his character like the happy guy or like the optimist.
Most likely to have a smile.
Exactly.
There.
Fitness instructor. What is that part of your character at all? That
Maybe
was
because
weird.
he's got energy and he like pumps people up. He's like, I'm a
Still,
fitness
somebody
instructor.
should have given him a note. Someone should have been like,
they
hey,
gave-
let's make this a little.
They gave Alex Newell a note for absolutely nothing for being like too
Right.
confident.
Yeah,
which
they're
I
like,
was like, come
this
on.
guy's too confident. That might bite him in the ass, like, or whatever they said. Like,
Yeah. There's a fine line
Alex
between
did amazing.
confidence and cocky, and it's like, well, obviously we know
Yeah.
this, but
yeah, they were just trying to keep us on our toes, like giving people who did a great job critiques.
well, I think this
but
is.
no one else stood out. What was anybody else's character?
I can't even think about it.
No.
The
They
Irish
really let
guy,
people
maybe.
get away. Yeah, my character is Irish guy.
I'm from Ireland, foreign exchange student. But
Yeah.
I think this is a good way to kind of go into our predictions for the episode, who we thought were the tops and the
Yeah.
bottoms, and then we'll get into the elimination.
Because this is all we have to judge them off of.
So tops for me were probably this week, just based on this week, were Cameron, Marissa, and Lindsay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely Cameron, because he was aces across the board. At no time did he do me any wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to say Marissa too, because I think you have to lead with your vocals on this
Yeah.
show. It's Glee. If you don't have good vocals, like,
Then what are you
that's
doing
so
here?
awkward. Yeah, like
Unless
you
you're
can
a
kinda fake
dancer like
acting.
Brittany.
Yes, because I think you can really fake the acting, but you can't fake the vocals. So yeah, Marissa and Cameron.
You don't even need to fake
and-
the acting on Glee. Let's be real. There was just people who
True,
could not
there was bad
act.
acting. Yeah, and it was just allowed. It was allowed to happen. And then yeah, I don't know, a toss up for the third place between like Lindsay, Alex, everyone else who like killed it. Sorry, that's 4. Sue me. That's who I thought did good.
Well, you're going to be dinged next week. You can only choose 2. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Bottoms for me, Ellis, for sure. Irish guy, Damien.
Yeah, you were a hater for Damien. I'm not as much of a hater as you
Okay,
are. But you were like
really
absolutely not
I'm just
when
going to
it
be
comes
honest
to
with y'all. I'm coming in with a fire and a heat against Damien.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just from this first
And for what?
episode,
Yeah.
I'm like have some Irish in my blood. 23andMe told me.
Wow.
So this isn't
Wow.
something of me coming against Irish people.
So it's personal. Yeah.
This is just a personal vendetta that I have against Damien McGinty.
Yeah.
Has he done anything to me personally? He sang terribly and Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Okay, you heard it here first. Eddie has a little bit of Irish.
I've got some
in
beef.
his
I've got
23andMe.
some corned beef and hash. Not some beef. I've got. Corned
I'm
beef
sure
and
they
hash.
love when you say that. Yeah. I don't hate Damien as much. Okay, so he's in your bottom. He's in your bottom. And so is
We're talking about who wants
bad.
to be in the bottom.
Cut that out. Cut that out. Yeah, who wants to be in my bottom this week? Yeah, who's in my bottom? that's the segment. Okay, who's in your bottom? It's
Damien, Ellis, and
Ellis.
honestly, I wish he could be in the bottom of Mateus. He wasn't
I
there
think he
doing
was
it for
wrongfully given just because somebody is an amazing person and so fun to be around does not mean they should be cast on Glee. If that was the criteria, I think we'd see a lot of different people in the
If
show.
that was the criteria, I think, maybe Leah Michelle would not have been the star of the show.
Right. Sorry, I just screamed into the microphone. Right, exactly. We're all thinking it. Yeah. Okay. That's a really good point about Mateus. Who's in my bottom is Ellis because she just.
I
gave
love
me
who's in
such
my
a
bottom. I'm sorry.
Yeah. She gave me a heebie-jeebie bad vibe because it was so awkward, and for that same reason, Hannah is. They gave her this awkward edit, and it just made me go, no, stop. Just the two. Just those two.
Just two bottoms.
Just the awkward girlies.
Two bottoms don't make a top. We know that.
Two bottoms don't make a top, exactly. But they're in my bottom. Those are the bees in my bottom.
Those are the bees in your bottom.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to actually who was in the bottom. So
who was in the bottom? Who was in Ryan Murphy's bottom? Well, it wasn't his bottom. It was Zachary Quinto's bottom.
Gary Quinto.
Yeah, because I think Gary Quinto, Daddy, and Nikki, Mommy, and Mean Choreographer Guy are the ones that decide the bottom.
Yes.
And I think there's a guy who directs the music video that they confer with as well. And also, just side note, the way this guy introduces himself is he walks up to the cast and he goes, yeah, so I've done music videos for people like J-Lo, Puff Daddy, like blah, blah, and just like name drops, and everyone's like, oh my God. Like, I think that was so funny. But they confer with this guy as well.
I don't remember his name, and I apologize for that. But
he's not one of the elders. He's just kind of.
It's like in America's Next Top Model where they bring in like a special photographer for the week, and you're like,
exactly.
And everyone's like, oh my God, and they have no idea who it is.
Exactly. So they all confer, and this is who they decide is going to be in the bottom three.
So everyone, I'm going to just talk about eliminations really quick and explain to the non-viewer viewers. So
give it to them.
What happens is 3 people get up and have to do basically like a sing for your life, a lip sync, but not a lip sync, the actual sing for your life. So there's a callback
separately.
Sheet. Yeah. And if you get cut, you're not going to be on that final callback sheet. So these 3 people who are in the bottom elimination group have to each sing their own individual song, much like our solo, What's Your Solo for the Week, to prove themselves. So these 3 are Ellis, 10-year-old Ellis, Irish Damien McGinty, and sadly Bryce.
Because they didn't like the attitude he gave on set when he like tried to give a suggestion.
And it was character. Like, what attitude? I'm sorry, I was so confused by Bryce. I mean, it made me upset. But
I think he was like, you could tell he was nervous throughout. And I think something that like straight guys do when they're nervous is act a little more macho. To kind of cover up for it. And I feel like that's what happened here. He was like nervous on set. He really wanted to make sure he was doing a good job. So he said, hey, my character's supposed to be this ladies' man. Like, I don't think he would do this. I think he would do that instead, which is like so valid. And they said to him like, oh, valid. Like, thanks for bringing that up. And they adjusted. And then behind his back, they're like, yeah, he's being really difficult.
This is the skankiest bitch I've ever met in my life. Like,
they said that.
Can't believe you would say that to me, Zach Woodley, the choreographer.
Yeah. So they put those 3 in the bottom and they give them each like a random song that they've never heard before. And they say, hey, you're going to sing this in front of Ryan Murphy. And I say random song they've never heard before because unlike on Drag Race where they let the queens know, hey, these are the possible songs you might lip sync, it's clear that they just give these people some music.
They literally go
from the show Glee.
Here is your song. You have 30 minutes to prepare, learn this song, and go sing it for everyone.
Yeah. So Damien's never heard Jesse's Girl. And he's like, okay, I guess I'm learning this song.
Which also killed me because when he performs it, he doesn't sing, I wish I had Jesse's Girl. He sings, I wish I was Jesse's Girl, which I was cracking up the entire time. I immediately caught it and I was like, is he turning this into a gay anthem? Like, what is going on here? He's really trying to pull the strings for Ryan Murphy and be like, and I wish I was Jesse's Girl.
And I didn't notice at all because I feel like I'm kind of on that same boat with Damien too, where I just kind of like sing what I think the words are. And to me, that's what the words are.
You're just vibing. That's truly
I'm just vibing, which is exactly what he was doing.
Honestly, that's what the Glee Project's all about, is vibes.
Yes,
like,
if you have
do you have the vibes?
Yeah.
You can make it through.
they give Ellis Hey Big Spender because they want to see her be not a 10-year-old, because that's obviously an adult woman's song. Okay,
It's about
Like,
being a
kids-
prostitute.
right. Kids can't sing that song. It's illegal. So they give that to Ellis.
Anyone under the age of 18 cannot sing Big Spender.
No,
it is illegal.
It's too illegal. So they gave that to Ellis, and Ellis, I will say, actually does an amazing job with it, which
Yes.
just supports my theory that they should stop being. I mean, it's hard. You can't tell someone stop being insecure, but like, I think something I've noticed lately, Eddie, just if I can level with you, when people have insecurities, a lot of I've noticed what they try to do is be like really upfront about it. Be like, hey, this is my insecurity. I'm just being upfront about it right now, just so y'all know it's my insecurity. Like, hey, like, let's not even make it a big deal. But when you do that, it makes it a big deal.
Yes.
I've noticed. So if you come out and you're like, yeah, I know I look like a 10-year-old. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. I know I look really young, but let's not talk about it. It just makes me want to focus on it more.
Yes.
And I think that was Ellis's big problem this week. She was like, I'm not a 10-year-old girl. And then they really critiqued her because on set, when she got her close up, she sparkled her eyes and did little twirly fingers like JoJo Siwa. And they were like, I thought you were trying to not be 10
This
years
is not
old.
Dance Moms, even though it's filmed
Yeah.
very much like Dance Moms.
Even though,
Well,
yeah.
I have to agree. I think I was really shocked and impressed by Ellis when she sang Big Spender, because I was like, oh, this girl
Yeah.
can actually. She's one of the better singers
Yeah.
of the group.
She's a musical theater girl. You can tell that she knows musical theater and she knows.
And I got
Yeah.
what her character should be. She should be like the musical theater nerd, like the girl who's like so obsessed with
Totally.
musical theater that she's like always in your business and always being like, well, you know, in
Yeah.
1984 when Patti LuPone
Right.
won the Tony for I don't
That
know
would have been
anything
a
about
better character
musicals,
for
so
her.
I don't know
Sure.
if
Just riffing.
Patti
Yeah.
LuPone has won a Tony in 1984, but if she has,
Sure.
a spark of genius.
Yeah, that's what Ellis should be doing for sure. She definitely nailed that. Damien was silly, but he definitely charmed Ryan Murphy. And we haven't talked about Bryce yet because it was a little forgettable. They gave him a Bruno Mars song, and I have a theory that they gave him that song because Bruno Mars and Bryce both wear hats. And I'm just kind of thinking
That I think
what they
that's
did.
I think that's it. I think you nailed it right on the
What
head.
Bruno song was it?
Just the way you are.
'Cause you're amazing. Just the way. Yeah, and he undersold it, I think.
Yeah, he could have given a little bit more oomph. I mean, he's a ladies' man. He could
And
have
he was
sexed
so
it up.
nervous.
Yeah.
And he was like backstage, he was like, this song isn't even in my range. And then when he like said that on stage, they were like, it sounded like it actually was.
And
Like,
it definitely he definitely could have sang it.
yeah. So pretty obvious here they did not like Bryce.
Yeah, so the brutal moment when they all go one by one to the final callback sheet to see if they've made it, and Bryce's name is not on it.
No. Bye Bryce.
Bye Bryce. And then we have
Bye Bryce.
we have one of the greatest moments of like
Of the
elimination.
show.
I mean,
You guys need to know about this moment. They do it every episode. They film the whole cast singing Keep Holding On by, we don't know the artist.
I
you
want
know
to
the
say
song.
Evanescence, but I know that's not right.
It is not Evanescence. No, it's like maybe Pink, but not. Or like Fun. Keep holding
Is
on.
it fun? No, it was a female. Well, we're gonna look this into next episode.
We'll
We'll
look
find
it up.
out who sings
Yeah.
"Keep Holding On."
And then the eliminated contestant gets a little solo at the end of the song. So they do nothing I could say, nothing I could do, nothing I but when it comes to the truth. And then everyone like sings them goodbye when they do that solo.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's hilarious.
So funny. It's so funny.
It's so ridiculous because it's like
Yeah.
if we just want to
It's
make
so
them even
dramatic.
more embarrassed and like more
Right.
dramatic for leaving, we're gonna have them sing about keep holding on.
And
Your
I'm-
dreams are still gonna be there.
Right, like hey, your dreams are still, and I think that the lights like dramatically shut off on them or something, and like a blank space is left in the bleachers, like so dramatic. Like whoever thought of that, and you just imagine like the pitch room for like planning out this season when they're like, oh my god, I have the best idea, I have the best idea, I have the best idea. They're gonna sing a song, and the person who's eliminated gets a solo. Like, right?
And everyone's like, yes. Ryan Murphy's like, yes.
Everyone's
We
like,
need to
yes,
destroy
write
these
that
children's
down.
spirits.
Write that down. That's a best idea. Yeah, yeah. So
Oh
that's
my
how
gosh.
it ends. And that's what you missed this week on Gleep.
You know, I think we ran it down. Next week we won't have as much to talk about because we don't have to introduce the show. We're just gonna jump right into the theme. But let's
We had to lay down the groundwork.
we had
for
to
y'all.
lay down the tracks to let you know what's
Yeah.
going down on this crazy show. This crazy little show we call Gleep.
On this crazy little show we call Gleep. It's called the Glee Project. We call it Gleep. Get used to it.
Get used to it. Okay, should we have a little fun? Should we play some games?
Yeah, let's get into the last part of the show, which is where we try to insert ourselves in the narrative.
Like, as we
Where
said
we
at the
make it
beginning, this
about
show
us.
is about us at the end of the day. This is not about Glee.
Yeah.
This is not about who
No.
wins it. It's about Eddie and Megan. What would they be like if they were on Glee?
Exactly. Truly, this podcast is just giving us an excuse to talk about ourselves through this show. Like, this show is just the basis of us talking about our talents and how amazing we are. Yeah.
So, I think our first segment we should do is we have a couple of different titles. It's, I should be on GLEEP. Here's how I would have done it if I were gleeping while you were gleeping.
While you were gleeping.
Yeah.
This is there's a scene that each of us have in the show that either we were like, we could have done it better, or I should have been a part of that. So
Yeah.
we're going to take the time here to reenact that scene. So, Megan, do you want to start or do you want me to insert it first?
I forget what mine was, but I remember yours, and I do want to insert you into the show.
Why don't you let the viewers know what mine is going to be?
So Eddie is obsessed with the moment at the very start of the show
Yes.
where Emily, the hot Latina girl, tries to flirt with Darren Criss, like flirt her way into his heart, and he's like kind of not having it.
He's not having it at all.
Eddie thinks he can do better.
I think I could. Do you want to be Darren and I will be Emily?
Yeah. Alternatively, we could see what would happen if it was just Eddie in the show.
Oh.
Or, well, you know what? It's literally the same thing because you are Emily.
I will be me.
Okay.
I will be me.
Eddie will be playing the role of himself.
I will be playing the role of myself, and you'll be playing the
If
role
you
of
were
Darren
on the Glee
Criss.
Project. Yeah, which I was born to play. Okay, so how would you do it? Set the scene. You just sang?
So yeah, I just sang, and you gave me the note that I had a lot of personality.
Okay, great. So, hey, I'm Darren Criss. Gonna give a little feedback to everyone. Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie Estrada. Hey.
Thanks.
I thought you had a lot of personality. I could really see your flirtatious side come through. So great job there.
Well, Darren, I'm so glad you saw that because the flirtation is just kind of who I am, and it is part of my personality. But I was really hoping that you would see it specifically.
Yeah, that's what I saw it for sure,
Well,
and I loved it.
You loved it. Well, I could show you a little bit more if you're down.
Well, I do think we have to talk to other contestants. What more would you show me?
I mean, there's plenty of things I could show you. It's really if we have the time. You can talk to other contestants, but we've got a little house in the back called the GLEEP house, and I've got a room that I share with 4 other people, but the bathrooms have no cameras.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. Maybe if I have a little extra time, I think it might be inappropriate for me to come visit you guys, but I really appreciate the offer.
No one has to know. We could just have a moment with ourselves, Darren. I know Chris Colfer's not giving it to you the way that I can.
Wow. How dare you bring up my co-star, Chris? Wow, Eddie, I'm really flattered here.
As you should be.
Oh. Okay, the confidence is coming through.
That's my personality. I mean, you asked for individuality. You asked for who we are. And I just want to let you know I'm a confident Latina woman ready to take you for a ride.
Okay, absolutely done with that scene. I think you would have rightfully scared and also intrigued Darren.
I mean, I think I got nervous myself. I have to say, I mean, with the power of Darren Criss in front of me, I think I got a little giddy. I didn't know what to do. I'm sorry.
Right.
So, yeah, I think I came on a little bit too strong. I got nervous. The Darren just got me nervous. So let's do your scene. What scene do you want to do? Where should you be inserted into the show?
Okay, so one moment in the show that I thought did not get its due was when Hannah was asked to pick a pose and she picked that 2 thumbs up in front of her face. And I know the choreographer was too mean, but I actually think he should have been meaner in that moment.
Meaner?
I think he should have said something and he didn't say something. So I want to say what he should have said.
Okay, so let's set up the scene.
Yeah, I want this to be a classic straight man, crazy man with the choreographer keeping it real.
Okay.
And Hannah being absolutely insane choosing that pose. I think I need you to play Hannah.
I will.
If you can tap into that character.
I think I can.
And I'm gonna play the choreographer in a way that is what I think he should have acted in that moment. Okay. So we're gonna do the posing sequence. Hannah, what is a pose you would do?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna just do one of these. 2 thumbs up.
Okay, and just checking, that is what you would call a pose?
Yeah, I mean, it's all I could think of right now. It's the 2 thumbs. It's something that feels comfortable. It's something I know how to do. I can land it. I don't know why I'm going to.
No, please. You're so Hannah. Yeah, I could see that that's comfortable to you. So Hannah, have you ever danced before?
In my room sometimes, to like a fun song.
Great. Okay. I'm just going to say, I think you have more in you. I think putting 2 thumbs up in front of your face is what you do when something is yummy or when something good happened.
I'm getting a little hungry here.
Shut up, Hannah. No, you're not. No, Hannah. I think you're a happy girl and I see why you would choose that pose, but I want to ask you to step outside the box and do something that is you, but in the dance world. Okay. So can you make a shape with your body? Can you make an interesting...
What if I did like an S where I put my hand on my hip and I fling my other hand up?
Hannah, I love that.
Like a little, Can't do it holding the mic, but you know what I mean.
Yes. Okay, literally and scene. That's all I wanted.
See, that wasn't meaner. I thought that was so supportive. Except for the part where you said it's something that looks yummy.
Okay, you took that to a place I did not intend to take that to. Because that is what people do when something's yummy. They go, 2 thumbs up. This was good.
I was, as Hannah, I was offended.
I feel bad, and I do feel bad, and I apologize because that is not what I meant. Hannah is my girl, and just because they made her talk about cheese for one episode does not mean she's the food girl.
But no, I thought that was so supportive. That wasn't meaner. Like that was.
You're right. I thought I was going to be mean, but I think ultimately all I wanted out of that was for the guy to challenge her. Like, don't just let this girl choose an awkward pose on national TV. Don't do her like that. Like, challenge her to be sexier, to be cool, to like, I mean, if her character's awkward girl, that's fine. But like, come on.
Well, I
give her something
I
better.
really liked the note of make a shape with your body. I was like, that's not a shape. If I do something, I give a little bit more.
Yes.
I felt inspired.
I think that was bad direction on his part to say pose because that can be misinterpreted.
Yeah, it's like stick in place.
Yeah. Oh, my pose is this: hand under chin, smile. That's not.
What would your pose have been?
Choreographer.
Just throwing it out there.
Thank you for asking me that. Okay. My instinct is to do Molly Shannon's Superstar, but I don't think that would have played well. Everyone knows what Molly Shannon's Superstar pose is, but Superstar. That I think I would have let that be my second pose to show my funny side. Okay, but I think my first pose would have been my kind of superstar girl rock. So I think I would have done legs out, feet with the hip width apart, strong stance, one arm up, punching the sky. Wow, one arm on the hip. Wow, and maybe I would have done head up. Like, yes.
I love that
to show my power. Yes. To show my power.
Yes.
And then second pose is superstar to say, hey, I'm also silly too.
Yes. Show versatility.
Exactly. What would your pose would have been?
I don't know. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. You know what? It would have been.
It totally would have been. I would have pulled a full Hannah. Maybe like a kiss.
That's cute. That's very you.
No.
It's like flirty.
My character is like kind of flirty. Yeah. I mean, I'm always flirty. I'm a little bit single, even when I'm not.
Oh my God, I love this for us. Okay, let's move on to the next way that we're going to insert ourselves into this TV show.
So this is my favorite segment, and it's called Ryan's Randy Roundup.
It's Ryan's Randy Roundup, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So who do you think?
Randy Roundup.
Ryan's Randy Roundup.
Ryan's getting randy, and he's going to do a roundup.
So this is who we think Ryan Murphy was sexually attracted to in this episode.
Yeah, in this show full of hot kids, who do we think Ryan Murphy was sexually attracted to? Because we know he was.
And this is how he casts. He's like, who is hot?
Yes. Okay, do you have someone in your head?
I do.
Do you have someone? Okay, me too. Can we say it on 3 who we think it is?
Yes.
Who Ryan is sexually attracted towards?
Yes.
Okay.
1,
2, 3.
Damien.
Damien.
Yes.
Ryan thinks
Wait.
Damien's hot. Why is that?
Okay,
I'm screaming.
I
Again,
have
I'm screaming.
reasons. I have reasons.
Okay, what are your reasons?
Okay, so the reasons I think that Ryan Murphy wanted to fuck Damien was because he's Irish. He's international. He's got an accent.
So that's intrigue. That's like, oh, you're a little different.
Yeah,
You're a little
there's something
spicy.
about you.
Yeah, so spicy, Ireland.
I think when he's saying, I want to be Jesse's girl, Ryan took that as an opportunity to say,
Gay vibe.
maybe
Or
he
just
goes,
LGBT.
maybe he can go my
Yeah.
way. Even though we
Right.
know from his rhythm, he is not.
That he's not going that way. But that opened the door. It was a hint of LGBT and
Yes.
and it kind of suggested perhaps
Maybe
gay.
he's
Yeah,
open
which-
to the idea. He'll sing
Yeah,
about
maybe
it.
Maybe he's open to the idea of gay. And that got Ryan going a little whoa.
And he let him go through to the next round with literally no talent. So
Yes. So Ryan was Randy towards Damien.
So this
No
week on
question.
Ryan's Randy Roundup, the winner is Damien.
Damien! Yay! Congrats, Damien. You won a creepy gaze from an adult man. Ah! I don't know if he creepily gazed at him. I'm projecting.
Oh, he was. He was
Ryan.
definitely giving a smirk during the whole thing and was like,
He gave a little
I
smirk.
see
He liked what he saw.
you. He liked what he saw. Also, I'm realizing that this is going to be really like only someone who's in the eliminated group Ryan will be sexually attracted to because it's the only time we see him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe some weeks he'll be clearly pining for Damien even though he's not there.
He'd be like, oh, I really wish I could see Damien out here again this week. Can we get Damien back around? Can we throw this around?
I would love to just look at him. If
Yeah,
could
can we just bring him on stage for a hot second?
I'd feel more comfortable with him there. Yeah.
Say, I would date Ryan Murphy in your accent, please. Ryan Murphy is my daddy. One more time, please. Ryan Murphy is me daddy.
That was so good, Eddie. That was
Was that really good?
Ryan Murphy is me daddy.
Ryan Murphy is me daddy. I'm gonna start working on my Irish accent while we do this show because I really can only do Australian, and that's really
Okay.
everything
Well,
goes
that'll be a goal
back
for
to
us.
everything goes back to the year back. That was not a good. Yeah, that was not a good
We'll
representation.
work on it. That'll be a goal.
We'll
I
workshop.
want to move on to the next segment called Tag Yourself. Who are you in this episode?
Mhm.
I think it's pretty clear. This doesn't have to be a long segment.
Yeah.
Who were you in this episode, Eddie?
Emily, easily.
Emily.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Immediately when I saw her, I was like, this is my Latina sister, first of all. And then
Yeah.
the way she like blatantly flirted with Darren Criss, I was like, yep, that's me.
Yeah, that was you.
Singing potential,
pretty-
okay, but she's got personality.
Right. And that's what you're all about. You're all about personality. Singing comes secondary.
I can sell a song if I can sell my body. You know what they say.
Wow, you know what they say. Yeah. For me, I think it's pretty obvious for anyone who knows me that I am Lindsay, especially when she goes, I'm classically trained, so that's probably why I killed it. Me. Literally me. Just being like, yeah, I probably killed it because I'm the best randomly. I'm really good at this. So yeah, I'm classically trained. That was so mean.
You are so
So
Lindsay.
mean.
Immediately when I see just her, I was like, yeah, this is Megan.
Yeah. The way she just knows and the way she's like a little professional girl just being like, yeah. And then I hit my mark. And then, yeah. That's so me. I love it. I love Lindsay.
Well, I loved her tags
Okay.
this episode. I think they were perfect. They were spot on.
Yeah. We were absolutely tagged. We've been tagged.
Well, speaking of social media, should we get to our final segment?
Yeah, this is the best segment. This is my favorite segment. This is no title yet, but this is a segment where we DM people who have been on the Glee Project.
Mhm.
Now, we don't just DM anyone. Who do we DM every week, Eddie?
Well, you are going to be DMing your boy crush and love of your life, hopefully future husband, Samuel
Right.
Larson.
Yeah, so every week on this podcast, I will, and I vow to always do this, to DM Sam Larson, whether he replies or not. And Eddie and I are going to like strategize about what to send Sam every week, just to keep it fresh, see if he'll notice me. I mean, the ultimate goal is for us to kiss.
Yeah.
That's pretty clear.
I think that's
So
goal
that's what I'm
one,
gonna do.
not ultimate goal.
Yeah.
I think that's
You're
step
right, there's
number
more goals.
one. There's definitely more goals in this soccer game.
Yeah. Now I'm DMing Sam every week. Every week, Eddie is going to DM the loser of the episode to kind of check in and ask them how they are.
Say, I'm going to be like, hey, saw your devastating elimination this week on the Glee Project.
Yeah.
And I just want to say,
Right.
hey.
Okay. So we started off with something that would really get his attention.
Mm-hmm.
Urgent. So I said urgent, : so that now his attention is got, because on DMs you could only see the first like few words. So I wanted to make sure he knew, hey, I opened this message. Urgent. My hair. Urgent. Should I get bangs? ? Heart emoji.
I love it.
So that was sent to Sam Larson 6 days ago.
Has he seen it? Has he responded?
No reply yet. But I will say I was searching Instagram 2 days ago, and I saw that he was hosting an open mic night like a mile away from my house. I had dinner plans, so I didn't go. Also, I was nervous, but it was like an open mic night for musicians. And I watched his Instagram story later, and it was like legit musicians with gorgeous angelic voices, like playing along to their guitar. So even if I did go and like pretended to do it, like I think it would have been clear that like I don't belong there. But
you belong.
Eddie and I decided, thank you, I belong. We decided that going forward, I am going to pay a guitarist to come with me and play Stereo Hearts, which is, spoiler, a song that Sam sings on Glee when he gets on. Because come on, we all know what happens. But I think it would be funny for me to go there and sing his Glee song.
I think that's the start of your love story. Is that you guys
so
both have
impressed.
Stereo Hearts?
Yeah, he'll be so impressed that I trolled
is.
him in person. He's so hot though.
He's so hot.
He's so good looking. He's
He's
So,
only
okay,
gotten
yeah,
hotter.
that was my DM.
He cut off those dreads and damn,
True,
baby.
Yeah, spoiler alert, he cut off the dreads, thank God, and he looks really good. But every week I'll message something to Sam. So tune in next week to see what I sent him then. I'll let you guys know if he replies. It's been 6 days, so I don't think he's going to, but hey, you never know.
He could see it and be like, I don't think this girl should get bangs. I should let her know.
Yeah, because she's too beautiful.
Because you're amazing, just the way you are.
Exactly. I hope he sends a voice memo to say that to me.
Okay, so
okay, what are you gonna say to Bryce?
I don't know. So we forgot to do Where Are They Now, but like let's just talk about Bryce really quick.
Yeah.
So Bryce is a
insert,
budding musician.
Where are they now? Yeah. He's verified on Instagram, which I have a feeling not a lot of the people that were on this show are verified. Sam isn't.
You also saw him on the radio or heard him. You saw him on the radio.
I saw him on the radio. I heard him on the radio. I sent a photo to Eddie. He was being interviewed on like a big radio station in LA because he had a show coming up here. So he's like fully on tour. The people on the radio were like totally buddies with him, like asking him questions. He goes by Bryce Vine is his artist name. He's like doing it. Eddie and I are both like, wait, have we heard his music before and just didn't know it was him? Because it's like he's fully transformed into like cool guy. Like he's giving Frank Ocean vibes.
I still don't know if I've heard him before, but I feel like I have. I feel like I'll like his music. I feel like in the next 3 years we'll be seeing Bryce Vine everywhere.
Yeah, because it's like pop. It's kind of like what's his name on Euphoria? Dominic Fike. It's like that kind.
Yes. Very.
Like a singing focused, but like cool,
just like I'm vibing.
Underground pop. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hipster pop.
So I think this is what I want to say to Mr. Vine.
Okay. What do you want to say?
Hey, Mr. Vine.
Ooh, nice.
Start with that.
Formal.
Start formal.
Yeah, start formal.
Hey, Mr. Vine. Just watched your devastating elimination on the Glee Project.
Let him know how you feel. Yeah.
You
were wronged.
Yeah, I truly believe you were wronged.
Hell yeah, tell me he was wronged, because he was.
And that you at least deserve to be in a few more episodes. I don't want to say he should have won because I don't want to be dishonest with him. But definitely should have been a few more episodes. Would love to hear you sing Just the Way You Are again. Let me know if you want to talk it out, buddy. XOXO.
Let me know if you want to talk it out, buddy. I think you should sing Just the Way You Are again. That is unhinged, Eddie, but it comes across as it starts so like professional and then it's absolutely unhinged.
Well, I think that's the way it needs to be with all these messages. Is that
read me the line about him singing again.
I would love to hear you sing Just the Way You Are again.
Wait, can I propose an edit?
Yes.
you should be allowed to sing Just the Way You Are again. As if he's been
Can you buy the
legally
rights?
not
No.
allowed.
Can you buy the rights to Just the Way You Are from Bruno Mars and make it your own song, please?
Yeah, I beg of you to ask Bruno if it's okay for you to sing Just the Way You Are again. I know he told you never to do it again, but if you could ask him to lift the ban, just invent a backstory.
Wait, edit for this line in the DM should be, will you be singing Just the Way You Are on tour? Would love to see it.
Yes. You sound like an idiot asking that. I love it.
Let me know if you
Like,
need to talk
genuine
it out, buddy.
question.
XO.
Let me know if I'm obsessed with let me know if you need to talk it out. What?
It's unhinged. Like, I'm going to be the one that's going to be like, I know this thing happened 10 years ago, but if you just need to talk it out with me, I'm here.
And
buddy.
that's where you sealed your fate of him not replying. But you have to send it.
I'm going to.
Yeah. I'm obsessed.
He's verified
that.
on Instagram. He's not going to respond to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to have better luck with some of these others.
Yeah, and I'm really excited because some of these other people did not make it as far as Bryce clearly did, and I think the likelihood of them replying. I mean, can you imagine as we continue this podcast and we start contacting people who went back into obscurity after the show, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, thank you," and they like respond back. I mean, oh my god,
I cannot wait for the moment I message Ellis.
I'm so
Be like, I
excited
did
to
not
hear
think you're a
this.
10-year-old girl, and I want to let you know, when you sang Sweet Charity, I saw the star in you.
I thought you were my sweet charity.
I wanted to be the big spender for tickets to your concert.
Oh my god, that's so good. I'm really excited to get in touch with these people. I hope they know we
Same.
love them and we understand that reality TV was horrible back then and it did them so dirty.
Yeah, I'm excited for, to talk it out with Bryce. My bud.
Yeah, to have him talk it out
Yeah.
if you
And
need someone to talk
I'm
it out
excited
with.
for you and Samuel Larson to start your love affair. I think it's
To
just
start our kissing relationship. That's
big
based off of
kissers.
kissing.
KISSING.
I would love to kiss him. What if maybe that's what my DM will be. I think that's what I'll be leading towards with these DMs is like, towards the end of this show, I will start kind of hinting at the idea that maybe we should kiss. Like if you want to schedule a time to kiss, like I'm actually available to kiss. We could kiss anywhere. Kissing is legal. We all know that.
Oh, you
So
know what we
could
should have
kiss in
done that I
public.
just realized? Maybe we shouldn't have started
What?
with you. Maybe we should have had each letter K of the first letter of each message spell out kiss me.
Oh my god, I'm dying so that he just gets a bunch of DMs.
Yeah. So maybe maybe we'll start with you and then we'll do next one we'll start with the down emoji and then the next one will be 2 and then we'll
You
do
down to
kiss.
and it spells out. I'm dying.
And then
Yeah.
your last message is read the message, the first letter of each message and put it together.
There's a secret message in these DMs.
You
that spell
down
out a
to
secret
kiss
thing.
me?
And then
I
he's
love
like,
it.
Yeah, and then I say, kiss me through the phone, but don't.
Kiss me through the phone.
But me on the streets. We about to kiss.
Meet me at Pow House for the open mic.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring the Pow House. Call it the
Is
Kiss
that what
House.
it's called?
I don't know.
I think it is. I'm obsessed. All right, Sam, love you. Kiss me.
Well, thank y'all for listening to the episode 1 of GLEEP. We'll have many more episodes because obviously there
Just you
are
wait.
many more episodes of the Glee Project.
And things are about to get spicy. I mean, you just got an intro this week, and it's only gonna get more dramatic from here. They teased at some, there's gonna be drama. I'll
This
just
was
say
the
that.
business episode. We had to get you guys knowledgeable about what was
Pure
happening,
business.
what's happening,
Mhm.
what's going, and now the fun begins. Now the race
Let the
is
fun
off.
begin. Yeah.
Hey, hey,
The race is-
hey.
the
That's
race
an
is
Irish
off.
song. Those are
Yeah.
I love C'est La Vie.
Hey, I'm the wolf today.
A hungry like a wolf. Hey, hey.
Oh my God.
It just
And it's
ties
full
back.
circle.
Yeah.
And it's full circle. Yeah, we end every episode singing. Wait, we end every episode doing our duet. Because we start with What's Your Solo? At the end, it's our duet. And I think our duet is Say you will, say you won't,
say you'll do,
say you'll do what I don't,
say you're
say
true.
you'll
say
say
to
to me.
C'est
la
la vie.
vie.
I'm like,
I think that was
off.
a fun key that we, I think we chose like a random key and just went with it.
I
too,
was
which
doing
is
a one
fun.
of these things like I was bang,
Yeah,
bang,
and
spana.
we also chose different voices for that. So interesting. I think if we were on Glee, we would get heavily noted for that
Hey,
performance.
I'm
But that's okay. It's
individuality.
episode 1.
I just gotta
Yeah,
say.
we showed our Irish individuality.
We'll have better vocals next episode.
Watch us
I have a
progress.
little bit like Ellis. I just have a little bit of a sore throat. You know.
Yeah,
I'm a little sick.
I know. That was my chest voice, and it shouldn't have been.
So sorry, Nikki.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nikki. Mommy
So,
Nikki.
sorry, Mommy Nikki.
Well-
Nikki. All right, see you guys next week.
Make sure you guys are subscribed wherever you're listening to, whether that's SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play Music, iTunes, or Spotify. And we'll have a social media soon. We'll let you know where that's at. We'll let you know what the ad is. But we
And
love
that's what you missed.
on
Gleep, gleep, gleep.